Very, very freaking funny about the number of streams over under there. You guys, you're hilarious. You're hilarious. I think we got it right this week. We're gonna find out really quick, but I do have a little surprise for you all that you're not gonna expect. It's a camera adjustment. That's what I got for you that you're not gonna expect. All right, so we got to do this. We got to do the standard because we did make some changes again. Let's start with the standard sound check. I got the comments. How's the sound? And then I'm going to show you what we switched up to do different this week. We've never done before. And we actually have an itinerary. We've actually got some stuff on schedule to talk about this week. I'm fidgeting with my mic. I'm not really sure what to do with it right now. So we're just going to put it right here in front of me. What's up, Joyce? Tap, Tom, Caleb, Peter. Javi's in the house. Mike was first. Was Mike really first? 5x5. Gotcha. Okay, cool. I mean, so do you guys want to? Should we start with what's new? So first of all, this week we are going to talk about a few things intentionally. If you notice, in the coming soon, what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about Heaven Hill. So I'm going to talk about Heaven Hill. I went and tried to find a Jack Daniel's 14 this week. We're going to talk about how that went and what the result was, and the Wild Turkey 101. It says we got more than one ingestion using the primary URL again.
Hold on.
I mean, it seems like everybody sounds like it's going okay.
I mean, the stream quality looks fine on my end. I pulled up, so maybe we just don't.
So we're not going to mess with it unless something wacky happens.
Yeah, if it starts bugging out, just, let us know.
Do we have 2 streams? I don't know if we have 2 streams.
We shouldn't.
We shouldn't.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No. It sure sounds like we might have 2 streams. So what we're gonna do in the future in here is I've actually got a whole lot of cool stuff. We're setting up a lot of different new cool stuff.
These are 2 mics.
What we need to get is a live on the air sign for the door. No, I'm just kidding. You gonna join us? Oh, you could hear an echo. Are we getting an echo? Just don't cross the streams. Glad IT is standing by. IT is actually here, and here's the new surprise. There's the new surprise. So we figured.
Cheers.
So our IT department is officially joining us right now. We've actually got the 2 screen setup going. This is going to be what the format is going to look like in the future to bring in you guys. First of all, we'll start with Discord guests, and then we're going to have other guests through Zoom and through other sources to be able to have some whiskey names on, some blenders, some media people you're going to recognize, some social media people you're going to recognize. So we're going to do a little bit of everything, and this is kind of phase 1. Just a little bit of echo.
I turned mine down just a little bit. So
turn yours down. I thought the problem was we were going to turn it up.
Well, we'll see if this.
Get it closer to your face.
Yeah, I can move it a little closer.
The full Howard Stern. Well, that's kind of what we're actually going for. Some combination. Joyce says hello, by the way. We're actually going for some combination of the Howard Stern and the Joe Rogan. I love Joe Rogan. My wife does not like that I mentioned Joe Rogan so much. She's making an odd face right now. And also, you guys speak up.
I don't mislike Joe Rogan. I mislike that my husband listens to every single thing he's selling and then runs out and buys it.
So? Doesn't everybody else do that? Doesn't everybody else do the same thing? We're gonna. I look a little yellow. You mentioned that yesterday.
Yeah, compared to me, yeah, 100%.
Whatever. We got to get some better lighting over on the seat. So,
it's all right.
Holy, cover your face. That'd be better. So, okay. So the other thing we have going that was not on the schedule is I actually got a box today. We're gonna open that box up. This is the one that I am super excited about. Nobody knows what's in this box except for me.
Wouldn't even tell me.
And Brandon, who sent it. It's going to be very, very cool. Did I see the Douglas Murray episode of Joe Rogan? I listened to most of them. Bring Elon Musk on. I'm working on it. I don't have high hopes that we're gonna get. Look at everybody else like Neurogum. No, I haven't done the Neurogum thing yet. I love that. It's so funny because I love that primarily everybody that's on the YouTube live stream. We were supposed to go TikTok tonight. We had a problem, so we're not. Is basically all of the boys.
Yeah,
I mean it's good and bad. It's good.
Oh, it's fun. You know the vibe you're gonna get.
It's good because it's fun, and you guys are super forgiving of all the ridiculousness. But I think we're supposed to try and expand our reach a little. The number's been pretty consistent. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some additional views. So, yes, Elon did. So let's start with the Heaven Hill thing. So I'm gonna do a video on this, but I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to see kind of what you thought about it. I don't know if you know this or not, but and
Probably
you guys
not.
please chime in the chat. 30 years ago, 1996, about 30 years ago, there was a giant fire at Heaven Hill in Bardstown.
Okay.
Okay, it basically burned down the distillery at Heaven Hill in Bardstown. Big fire. I mean, the footage is incredible. I'm gonna make a video on it. The footage is incredible. The rick house is completely engulfed in flames. Apparently, there was something like a foot deep river of flame of all of the whiskey on fire. It was just this terrible freaking nutty thing.
Mhm.
And Heaven Hill has not distilled in Bardstown since 1996. It completely shut down distilling, and they are actually at Bernheim,
Okay.
which, if you know anything about the area, it's not far away, but it's not in Bardstown until now. So just recently, on the first week of April, I think it was on the 7th, Heaven Hill officially filled its first ceremonial barrel back at Bardstown to be distilling back in Bardstown again. Okay, very cool, very interesting, cool history.
Yep.
But the thing that is most significant is that I wanted to mention. Pete just said he wasn't born in 1996. Pete, pipe down in the back of the adults are talking. 1996 was 29 years ago.
I wouldn't know.
Okay, so we're
wouldn't
sorry,
know.
we're in old age of denial here. Me too. I don't think I was born in 86 too, 96 too. Look at Tap 2. Okay, listen, you young bucks. So the thing that is significant about this is it is going to dramatically increase Heaven Hill's distilling capacity
Mhm.
by basically double.
Okay.
So 450,000. There's 3 stages of the new. When it's done, it'll be 900,000. So I'm kind of curious. Obviously, we're not going to get any new distillate now, but 5, 6, 7 years down the road, this is going to be really interesting how the whole whiskey market evolves.
Yeah.
Because you still got a lot of there's some distilleries that have peeled back, but there's some still distilleries still going hard. Bardstown's going hard. Heaven Hill's going hard. Buffalo Trace is back up and running and doesn't seem to be slowing down at all.
Yep.
Obviously, Brown-Forman, with the release of the new Jack Daniel's 14, is dipping into some of that older stuff that maybe they would have used to blend into. I don't know. So I don't know what do you guys think? You guys that are watching, you guys are a lot of whiskey nuts here. What do you guys think about what that means for Heaven Hill for the future? Are these distilleries going to continue to produce a whole bunch of stuff and basically the market's going to start to decline and now we're going to have this giant glut of whiskey? Or is this a sign that the whole market decline of whiskey is just an over exaggeration?
I mean, I think for one that hopefully at least we'll get more products ranging in the higher age range. So maybe more releases of like the Heaven Hill 17 coming out. Like maybe they'll hold some of the stuff at the original location to save for that, and then this newer facility will be able for a lot of their new stuff.
Could
So
be.
we
I
might
mean,
get more releases of old stuff. Now they might just rebrand it another name and sell it for $300 or $400, and then we're back to stage one. But
well, or they could release new baseline. Where did it go? I had one here. New baseline. Oh, the old Crow. Where's the Crow at?
oh,
New
it's over
baseline
there.
products. So you can get new baseline products like what Jim Beam is doing with the old series. So old Granddad, old Overholt, and this kind of retro throwback old Crow. I'll explain to you why I have a bottle of this. You guys will realize what this is about in a minute. But you can't. It won't increase the volume of 17-year-old Heaven Hill. They may be using some of that to blend in,
Well,
and maybe they stop.
Well, but they might move the production of some of the newer stuff to the new facility because obviously you need less
True.
time for that, and then maybe they'll save some of their barrels that have been there for older projects. So who's really? They probably won't because you want the artificial scarcity,
What's going on, Bourbon Hall?
but you know
Thanks for
they're
coming.
obviously gonna do what's best for business. And
Well, that's what it really is, a business. I mean, Tom said maybe they're planning for the next whiskey boom in 10 to 20 years. That could be it. My other thought was if they may be seeing what Bardstown is doing and what MGB has been doing with contract distilling.
Yeah.
Because at some point, it's going to cycle back around again, and the bourbon market is going to start to come back again. Or I don't think the bourbon market is gone. I think the bourbon market will start to grow naturally again. So you get this boom, you got a correction, just like the stock market.
Yeah.
And now it's starting to correct again. So it's going to continue to grow. They're seeing what they're doing with contract distilling and thinking, well, maybe as the market starts to come back, you're going to weed out a lot of the little small non-producing distilleries, non-producing bottlers, or whatever they're non-producing companies.
Yeah.
And those then they'll start to come back again. There'll start to be new ones, and we're going to be all set up for this massive amount of distilling. Maybe they think contract distilling.
Yeah, well, and Pete does bring up a good point. They might start making age-stated products, kind of like with your Wild Turkey 101 8-year kind of deal. So they might go down that route, which would make sense. More products without actually doing a lot more work.
Yeah, very, very interesting. So Mike, I always interested to see Mike's because Mike actually goes to school for this stuff. Um, the huge marketing decline is an exaggeration. Tariffs may inhibit selling some places, but companies are making inroads to India and other countries. Plus, they have to look 7 to 10 years down the road. They absolutely have to look 7 to 10 years down the road because it's whiskey. Even
Yep.
your Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond 7 year, you make it today. It's 7 years before it's freaking ready to go. And I do think it'll be interesting to see how this tariff thing plays out. And maybe that's the play they're making.
Mhm.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna drink on camera. I don't care. Um, if the tariff goes into place, even a little bit of a tariff, it may cool down the foreign market demand for American bourbon. China, India,
Yep.
Europe, maybe. If that happens, now you're gonna have more supply in the United States, and that might actually help all of us with pricing, and we might see a little bit of make bourbon cheap again.
But speaking of the tariffs, an interesting point that just came into my head. I wonder if now some of the distillers are going to start pushing into making more of the American single malt kind of stuff because of the increased prices seeing from tariffs to,
I,
those kind of places.
Maybe. I mean, I think American single malt volume is going to have to do with the consumer demands. I mean, there was a pop in the American single malt thing. It really seems like it's been very quiet
Yeah.
here in the last 6 or 8 months. We haven't been hearing all this hype about it. It feels to me like the hype has been is starting to kind of melt back in the direction of these tater bottles again.
I mean,
You got the Wild Turkey 8, which really isn't a tater bottle, but it's a classic big name distillery release that people have been waiting for. You got
Yep.
the Jack Daniel's 14. They're doing a release of the Heaven Hill. I'm gonna botch this. Right now we're waiting. I think it's a 17 or a 19. I just got a message on it today. That's supposed to drop literally any day now.
Mhm.
So I think there's some excitement around that.
yeah.
I know that the 1924, we saw that hit Costco today. I saw it post Costco today. The Russell's 15 was a big deal, and Bruce Russell was talking about another higher age stated. So I don't know. I don't know, but I think it will make a difference in this whole tariff thing if they're not going out, regardless of the age and
Yep.
what distiller it is, or which single malt or bourbon. If it's made here and the tariff make it more expensive there, you may see the Chinese market pick up more Indian stuff
Yeah.
or more Scotch,
More Japanese.
less bourbon.
Yeah.
And if that happens, that's good for us, boys, because that means even the age stated stuff. If
Easier to find.
Japan has to pay a tariff on Wild Turkey 12 and starts losing a little interest in it or goes up too much, guess who gets Wild Turkey 12? So let's just see. It's going to be interesting for sure. So I thought that was kind of cool. The Heaven Hill was coming back, and it's interesting that you're getting two different things going. Some distilleries are filing bankruptcy and restructuring.
Mhm.
Some are cutting back on production, and some are saying, "Nope, we're gung ho." I mean, Bardstown, we were there building a whole nother system, like a mirror distillery to double production too. Pretty wild. Yeah, Tom, thank you for that. You guys, what's up, Bradley Boober?
Yeah.
Please hit those thumbs up, you guys. We want to get this spread out a little bit.
I think for stuff like Heaven Hill, like they don't have to worry about that kind of stuff as much because when obviously they have the name recognition and they're so sought after for the high end stuff along with a lot of their smaller stuff. So it's like if they're gonna build up and try to produce more of the small stuff, I don't think they really need to worry about that versus someone that's a little smaller.
Yeah.
Like if Turkey wants to build up some more, I don't think that's gonna be a bad thing for them to do. Right?
No,
It's
I'd like to see Wild Turkey do. I'm excited to see what Bruce Russell's going to do with the Wild Turkey. I like Heaven Hill. In fact, Heaven Hill was my distillery of the year. What, year before last? Just because
yeah, 2020.
they get on these hot runs, and you got an Elijah Craig barrel proof, you got a Larceny barrel proof, you get all of these things that are the Bernheims, you get all
Yep.
these things, and if they get some hitters, you can get some serious badass bottles. Was it Fred Minnick's top 100 had? I want to say 2 Larcenys and 2 Elijah Craigs in like the top 15 or something. One of you guys if I guess Devin is not here today. If Devin was here, he would know exactly what they placed. I don't see him in here yet, but
I mean those barrel proofs, especially the C's, are always hitters.
the C's have been hitters lately. We'll see how this goes out this year. So, let's before I tell you the Jack Daniel's 14 story, I'm gonna open this box right here because I'm excited about what's in this box.
Oh, switch to main, so you're opening
Okay,
the box.
so we're gonna here. Let's go over. Yeah. Uh-oh. It's not wanting to do it.
Oh,
Hold on.
I just do a man.
Hold on. There it goes. There it goes. Okay. Make it to me. Okay. So, sorry, we have technical stuff. I'm gonna get better about running the technical stuff, or we're going to get a technical person to run the lives as they get more complicated. But we're growing as we grow, and the thing is, what's going on? Daddy's working. We're only got a handful of people. I'm expecting this is gonna grow, and we'll see. But so I appreciate you guys all kind of being here with us and being patient while we're going through the growing pains. But so I'll tell you what this is. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'll tell you why I'm excited about it. So when I went for if I don't cut myself on live, that would be kind of cool. When I went for the Wild Turkey 101 8-year release last month, got to meet a lot of really cool people. There were some distilleries there. Don't make fun of my knife. It's a 511 Tactical, just a cheap. Some of you guys are probably knife nuts. Some people there that were get the stream deck. Can't even work it. Shut it, tap. Damn young kids always want to tell us about technical stuff. There was some distilleries there and some people there that were there. Gotta hide the address. That either had distilleries or were bottlers or were starting their own brands. What's up, Henry Hickey? What's going on? Hit that like for me, you guys. And this was kind of one that I was excited about because I've been trying to get some of this stuff and it is impossible. Holy bracken. So I will bet that some of you guys, in fact, all of you guys are going to know what these are, except for maybe YouTube probably won't know what it is. But
No.
you might not. So one of the people that was there was one of the guys that does this brand. So everybody know what that is?
Yeah.
What's up, Foolproof Hunter? So this has been the first time that I've had an opportunity to get my hands on these, and I'll tell you what they are. So these are the Evernorth Spirits Night Stalker and Spirit Walker. This is the Bourbon Junkies brand. So yeah, so very freaking cool labeling. Obviously, the Bourbon Junkies are non-distilling producers right now. They basically bourbon. Yeah, they basically buy. I see Wombat knows. They basically buy barrels from different places. A lot of MGP stuff, and then bottle it. This is one of those ones that I think the boys are pretty good about bottling stuff. So this is obviously a straight bourbon whiskey finished in peach brandy, Calvados, cherry brandy, cognac, and honey barrels. Wow,
Damn.
that's a lot. That's a lot to say.
Any more? Is that it?
And the Night Stalker is a straight blend of whiskeys. Anymore? No, we just got 2 bottles of whiskey. So Night Stalker is age stated 8 to 11 year MGP and 6 to 7 year Green River. So pretty cool about saying what it is. I'm super excited. I'm super excited about these because I just can't. You cannot get these around here. I actually had somebody reach out and was like, "Oh, I'll get you one for a Weller Foolproof." And I've been waiting for my Weller Foolproof, and he missed the boat. A lot of MGP, Green River, and Sagamore. Yeah, so the MGP and Green River. It doesn't say. It doesn't say with the one that's the massive blend. It just says Ambrosia. So pretty cool. I see that some of you guys must have had some of these. Maybe we'll crack one of these and try one out before we're done here. But yeah, I like the Bourbon Junkies. Sean was there. Sean, along with Brandon, who is their technical filming kind of IT helper guy, and Brandon was nice enough to try and to send me these. So big shout out to Brandon with the Bourbon Junkies for sending these out to me. I really appreciate it. I think that's pretty dope.
Dope.
So we'll you got a glass over there?
I'm almost done with it.
We're gonna have to just try a little of this. I think we'll have to try a little.
I love the labels on them. The labels look sick.
These are very, very cool. Okay, so you guys in the chat, Night Stalker or Spirit Walker, which one should we open up? I'm kind of.
Which one is the one of all the like cognac and brandy cast finishes?
That's the Spirit Walker.
That one sounded good.
I'm kind of leaning towards just trying the Night Stalker first. This is Night Stalker 4, just to try and see kind of what their straight bourbon whiskey before we get into the really crazy finished stuff, blended stuff. So I think maybe we'll try that one first, and see. So never mind in the chat. You don't get the vote. I'm just gonna open this one.
My vote didn't even matter. I feel robbed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I quite often.
Which one should we open? Takes the opposite.
Yeah.
That's the question, and then he doesn't.
I know.
Whatever you answer, that's the wrong answer.
Stalker. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. We'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah, sorry y'all. Look at Joyce's spirit. Sorry, Joyce. I just ran off all on half cocked on my own and just did what I wanted to do. I'm sorry. So I will tell you, if anybody's got any questions or wants to talk about any subjects, put it in the chat. The other thing about this subject or this format instead of TikTok, we don't get as many newbies.
Yeah.
It's not as many random ass questions coming across. So you guys don't have to hear about the red potato tubes, 47 times a stream. What was the other one that's always coming up? Who's getting the same questions all
No,
the time?
there's always like one whiskey they ask if you had. Or yeah, or like I'm new. What should I drink under like whatever dollars? Yeah.
Evernorth Spirits. That's what
Yeah.
Sorry, Joyce. Sorry, Joyce. Yeah, you got to be quick. You got to be quick in the chat.
We'll have to update our bingo boards with the new format.
I do bingo boards. That's right.
Yeah,
Where's
new bingo
Smoothie when you
boards.
need him? We'll need the new live bingo board. So respect pop. Okay.
Not bad.
Respect junkies. Respect artificial cork. Smart play, I think, on that. Pretty bad.
Tap wants to know how was Pipe Dream.
Pipe Dream's good. Good beginner. Yeah, Redwood Empire reference. That's one of the ones that freaking always would come up. I want to apologize to the Bourbon Junkies right now. I'm not going to try their whiskey for the first time in a Glen. We're just gonna put it in a
Tom's asking your best bottle under 500.
neck pour. Best bottle under 500. I want to say Evernorth Spirits. No. Best bottle. I'll tell you what. I am a little
not
bit
sponsored.
I'm a little not sponsored. I am a little bit torn at trying to go after that Heaven Hill because I got a tip as to where they're gonna be. Here, ready?
Yeah.
Here's my question: do you have other shirts, or are you just celebrating Earth Month? That's not my Earth Month shirt. The Earth Month shirt is darker. This is the Emerald Giant. Emerald Giant. Yes, I guess Redwood Empire sent me a bunch more of their new shirts, and they're nice, they're comfy. I should be wearing our shirts.
Can you
Make
ask for a
Bourbon cheap
couple for
again.
me?
Go to whiskeyboundedshop.com and buy a t-shirt. There's the plug. I will get better about putting t-shirts back on when we have a little bit better following. What's up, Randy Anderson? Favorite craft, not NDP. Favorite craft whiskey, not NDP.
What is NDP?
Oh, non-distilling
oh,
producer.
not-
Somebody's
okay.
bottling something else.
I thought about that right as
Still
I said
Austin probably right now. They're just freaking on a run right now. ER like Eagle Bear? Yes, like it. How's it going, Warhawk? What's happening?
What would qualify as craft? Like under
If they produce it themselves, non-big seven,
just not one of the big
yeah,
ones.
it could be, Traverse City and the like. Can we agree that Blanton's is overrated? It definitely can be overrated. It definitely can be overrated. It's starting to pop up everywhere around here, though. If you need Blanton's, come to the Sacramento area. It's everywhere right now. Yeah. What's up, Beefy McMahon Stick? Pappy Van Stinkle, 35 years, the best beginner. Yeah. Don't joke. They're gonna make older and older Pappy. Warhawk says, finally got my hands on Redwood Empire Screaming Titan. Amazing bottle. Love Redwood Empire. Me too. What's Crittenden's? Oh, favorite non-distilling producer. All right, so we are trying for the first time.
Oh, it's super grassy.
Night Stalker.
It's good though.
Well, it's straight bourbon whiskeys.
It's good.
So it's got a little age on it.
I don't know if it's because of what I was just drinking, but it's really smooth. Has like a nice little, like, piney, grassy note to me.
It's good. That's a good bottle. That's actually quite good. I tell you what, it's not better than our.
Here we go.
No, I'm not kidding.
Hashtag sponsored, everyone. Just so you're
No,
aware.
not hashtag sponsored. Hashtag single barrel. For God's sake. Listen, I know that most of you guys have already heard this, but if you didn't get our whiskey bonded single barrel double oaked freaking old Louisville, you need to go and do that. I've cracked into this bottle hard already. That bottle is good, especially if you liked our Rye 3. It's got some of that same kind of marshmallowy kind of note to it, but way more mature, way better. Good proof point. It's really, really freaking fantastic. Are you schmoozing to get a pickup at Evernorth? No, the only way to get their stuff has been getting channels picks. So we could do, I did talk to them. We can do a pick at Evernorth if we want to, and I probably would get around to it. The problem is it's in a weird spot to get to. And then we'd have to figure out distribution and all that stuff. But we will at some point. I really, really want to do that, to go hang out with the Bourbon Junkies and do a pick of their stuff. So as long as you guys will buy it, we can do it.
Oh, Rick said, speaking of a Still Austin, did you receive anything in the mail?
I did. Will you hand me the Folger bottle? I did. You want me to show off my new? Thanks very much to Rick's House of Bourbon. Little shout out to Rick's House of Bourbon. We did get the Still Austin distillery only, and I will admit something. This is a 4-year straight rye, just with some Brasetto rye, white corn, wildfire malted barley, so cool grains. But I bought it for the artwork. I'm seriously turning into a Still Austin bottle artwork geek, and anytime they come out with a new bottle artwork, I freaking dig it. I think it's so freaking cool. No, not a weird spot in Michigan. Michigan, maybe Michigan's weird. I'm just saying it's not a spot I mean, it's not like Louisville where we could go there, hang out, and go around to Louisville. My understanding is that the Bourbon Junkies distillery is in a weird spot, like kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, get a little campsite going, get an RV, you know, put a couple tents up. Could be nice.
Just picked up a Blanton's for my father-in-law for $69 in Northern California, but yes, it's overrated. I would say for $69, given how cool the bottle is, not overrated.
I mean, that's under SRP now.
It's
isn't
fine
it?
at $69.
Isn't it like 80 now around here usually?
It's $79 now as MSRP. But even a lot of places have it for $89, which now is getting to be too much money.
Yeah.
Mike said, hey, Conrad's bottle didn't break. Somebody's upset about something there. If only we had some Discord members in Michigan that could source Evernorth bottles for us. He's not here. You can talk some crap, but he's not here. Is anybody else in Michigan besides Garrett? Yeah, Rick, thank you very much, man. No, it showed up in fantastic in one piece, Mike. It didn't, I mean, Rick, it didn't break. Yeah, this is actually really, really good. So let's talk about the Jack Daniel's 14 story.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I got tips from the boys of a spot locally that got a drop of Jack Daniel's 14. So Mrs. Whiskey Bun is rolling her eyes. I wish we had a camera on her right now.
Oh, I don't know what this story is going to be.
We could program
live
a little
reaction
camera to
right
whip
here.
over there and whip back. Yeah, live reaction. So you're
live
gonna get
reaction.
No, thank you. No, we're not. She's not staying on camera now. It's gonna be a hard time. It's gonna be hard to get Mrs. Whiskey Bun back in the chair with the camera. So we may have her on just for voice. Even Robin from Howard Stern's on camera.
She has
And you're-
good lighting.
You're way better looking than her. I'll get you.
This is
I'll
beautiful
get you
lighting
crazy
in
lighting.
here.
We'll get you.
I'm
ring lights
glowing.
and
I'm
ring
absolutely
lights.
glowing over here.
You do look a little gray.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
We're gonna have to adjust the lighting for consistency for sure. Whatever. So anyway, so I get a tip from the boys. Hey, there's a place in town that's got a Jack Daniel's 14, and this guy will potentially sell some stuff at SRP if you got cash. Top said, "Don't worry, had a Jack Daniel's 14. You were upset today as well. You had one, so
No, he had an upset, meaning he didn't get it.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, Jack Daniel's 14 upset. I think there's going to be a lot of Jack Daniel's 14 upset right now. Thank you, RB. I appreciate you saying Jack Daniel's 14 is overrated. I understand that Jack Daniel's 14 is not going to be worth it. I'll finish the story and you can see what I'm saying, but not going to be worth paying a whole bunch of money for. But I do want to get it to try it, and there's a bit of a certain responsibility for you guys to be able to get it and try it and compare it against the 12 and the 10. And technically, we can write it off as an expense for the channel. So there's a little bit of a different motivation for us. So I went down, basically prepared to pay. I had $200 cash in my pocket. Basically said, well, the guy said MSRP, it's brand new. We'll see. He dropped a post on Instagram, the store did. SRP is $149, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, listen, I'll go 30% higher, right? I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
That didn't work. So we went in there and I watched a guy. There was a guy in line that watches the channel and was like, I said, hey, he said, hey, how you doing, man? I go, what are you here for? He said, obviously the 14. Great. So Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet and I backed off a little bit just to kind of watch and see what happens. So he had bought the fourth bottle. There were 6. The guy had gotten 6. So he had bought the fourth one, stood in line and paid $4.29. $4.29 for this bottle. Right? So the guy's like, he's kind of trying to give me the little, my friend, and I don't know about how to ask for it. I'm like, listen, man, I'm not, let me just look around a little bit. So I was waiting because I figured we got there about an hour after posted and Foreman had already gone. I'm like, someone else is going to come in. We're going to get to watch the shenanigans. This will be very interesting. And I wish I had my camera. I really do. So as we're standing there looking, to be fair, this guy does have, Devin's on the road. That's why he's not in here. This guy does have some of your traditional Tater bottles, E.H. Taylor Rye, E.H. Taylor Small Batch, Single Barrel, even a couple Wellers, Elmer Tea, a couple different Blantons, and most of the stuff is priced pretty reasonably. Either SRP or just a little bit of markup. Well within the limits of what I would say you could buy it for that, no problem. Like a straight rye was, I think, $100.
Yeah, that's reasonable, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 79 sticker, and most places around here sell for $150, $179. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a reasonable markup. So we stood there and a guy comes in and the guy's like kind of got his hands in the pocket and he's doing the weird like looking around thing. And come to find out the liquor store owner actually had the 10 and the 12 and the 14 all hidden behind the counter.
Okay.
This guy knows I know what I got. Don't lowball me, bro.
Yeah.
So the guy says, hey, do you got the 14? And the guy goes, I got one bottle left. I don't know about this guy over here. He might buy it.
No, he said he had no bottles left. And then he said, well, if this guy doesn't buy the bottle, then I would.
Yeah, see, he says about, well, this guy over here is trying to buy, maybe buy one. I might have one left. I don't know. I'm gonna hang on to it and see, right? And I'm trying to give the guy that's there looking and shopping, giving him the. Right? I think I even told him. I said, man, if you want it, you can have it. Right? He asked the guy how much. I swear to God, the guy we were just standing there. He was just talking to us. I think I could have got it for 400, maybe a little less if I'd have worked the guy. 500. Tells the guy straight to his face. I'm standing right there. 500. And you should have seen the dude. I watched him go.
Jump back a little bit.
I think he expected. More like what I expected, which is a lot less. Yeah, look. RB says the 14 is $6.99 here in Tennessee.
That is
What?
ridiculous.
Who are the lunatics? I saw one of the lunatics in my face. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, the guy was very nice. It's hard to make judgments about how people spend their money.
Yeah.
But this is not a dude that rolled up in a Maybach. He didn't have a chauffeur.
Yeah.
Some dude didn't let him out the back, and he walked in with a cane and some spats and was like, "I'll take it, whatever price it is." This is a regular ass dude.
Yeah.
Oh, 450? How about 425? Okay, I'll take it. It's like, what the fuck's happening?
This guy at 500, though, is like, oh, no, that's too rich for my blood.
He looked like he was gonna cry.
Yeah.
I
Very good
probably would
price.
too. What was he asking for the 10 and the 12?
He was asking 129 for the 10 and 200 for the 12. Little crazy.
A lot of crazy.
Like the 12, the $200 for the 12. If you could work him down to like 170, that would be a reasonable markup on that bottle. I think it's 109, maybe 170, 150. But around here, you can't it's hard to get 12s. When I see the 12s, they're $299, which is crazy. Don't do that. My experience with 10 and 12, you shouldn't pay that kind of markup. Reasonable markup on those bottles because they're cheap. I'd say 30-40% if you had to, but
not
what this guy's talking about.
250%.
How much would you pay? So let's say you've had 10 for sure.
Yeah, 10 and 12.
Okay, and I think 12 is great.
12 is amazing.
12 at $109, no brainer.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it's really, really delicious.
Yes.
What would you pay for a 12?
I think the highest I'd go is probably like 160.
What would you guys put it in the chat? And we'll
It's good, but the problem is it's like me personally, right? I do like a little comparison game in my head, right? I think like it's really good, 160, right? What else can you get for that price? There's Ladybird you can buy, or you can buy some of the good chicken cock stuff, or you can buy an ESH barrel proof. You can find one for a lot less. It's like I bought an ESH barrel for less, so it's just like when I start comparing it to those things, a Tanager's less than that, isn't it?
Tanager's 149.
Yeah, 149, like that.
Yeah, when you could get it.
Yeah, like I'd rather have that bottle.
That's true.
So it's like it's tough to go higher than that because it's just like I don't know. I've had these other balls that are so good. A 10, I'd probably go 120, maybe 115.
Because see, look at Chaz says 160, RB says 200, Javi says 115 shipped. Tom 120 on the 12, 105 on the 10. I think those are kind of reasonable markups. I'm a junior. It's hard when there's better.
Yeah.
Chaz asked, what does Weller 12 go for? So high markup around here is probably 250. Decent markup around here is probably 100.5.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we've been lucky to have good connections.
I got lucky on mine, so.
Well, there was some major drops in this area of 12 not that long ago, and the prices really came down, and you could get them for under 100.
Yeah.
What did you pay for yours?
Well, I had a connection, so I paid SRP.
Okay. So that was kind of possible. It depends on how many are out there. Right now, seeing a few full proofs drop, and there's a couple 107 store picks in town, and I can tell you that those bottles are definitely bringing less than they were. But you brought up a good point, and I think Tap actually agreed with you. Part of the issue with these big drops is you do have a lot of name recognition, but you got to start to ask the question, well, what about, we've got Evernorth here. What about our old Louisville pick is better than Jack 10?
Yeah.
I think for me is better than Jack 12. That's probably arguable. Some people are probably going to like the 12 better. But our bottle's under $100. Our Rye 3 was under $100.
Yeah.
Right at $100. The chicken cock's the chicken cock to me is better than the 10 or the 12 hands down. And I can't imagine that the 14 is going to be better than that chicken cock. No freaking way.
That chicken cock pick you did was unbelievable. That little sample I had.
Wild. We are getting closer to the rare character pick, by the way. I'm not going to say anything else about that. It's getting closer. It's not going to be as long as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like November. It's not going to be November. Rick says wild. Rick, could you please just keep Rick's House of Bourbon wholesale pricing out your mouth? It just makes us all feel bad. Rick just said Weller 12, $45. For anybody but you, Rick, that's a lie. There's only one person in this country that gets Weller 12 for $45, and that's Rick.
Yeah.
I mean, you paid SRP for yours, and it wasn't $45.
Yeah.
So what do you want to before we talk about the Wild Turkey 101 thing again? What do you throw something out? What do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about?
Yeah, let's go. And not I'm talking about on subject. It could be slightly off subject, but it has to be general appeal. We can't talk about mangas.
Okay.
What do you
Okay, let's go with mom first. I need to think.
Okay. You want to talk about this?
The hell is that?
Cocktail mixer, like hands down, easy peasy, old
Hashtag sponsored or no?
No.
Hashtag not sponsored.
So I will tell you this. This is an organic, real statement here, and there's a great story behind this too. So take a screenshot of this, you guys, if you can. So this is refined, handcrafted. It is an old-fashioned all-in-one mix. Okay, so I know the all-in-one old-fashioned mixers. We've been through a few. What's going on, Brandon T? Is that Brandon T? Brandon T? Brandon T?
Is that the Brandon T?
Brandon T. Listen, I'm gonna assume that is the Brandon T. Everybody in the chat, please give a little bit of love to Brandon T. Brandon T was the facilitator to help. Brandon, dude, you're the freaking man. I appreciate this so much. This is amazing. We just broke into the Night Stalker. I haven't gotten to the other one yet.
Tap. The champagne wasn't it? I had to go make dinner. I was a little hungry. I stepped away for a minute. The champagne, I was fine.
Champagne segment and the consequences.
There was zero consequences of the champagne.
There's a little Discord after party inside joke there. If you're not aware of the Discord after party, you got to be a patron. But if you get into the Discord, the after parties can get a little crazy, as you see. They go like I never make it to the end of them. These dudes are nuts, and a lot of the patrons around the East Coast, they just go hard all night long. It's nuts.
You're older than most of them, so you're good.
Yeah, Brandon T, man. Thank you very much, Brandon T. You're the freaking man for that. This has been absolutely difficult to get a hold of. So back to the so refined handcrafted cocktails. We are actually sitting in the bar at Michter's at Fort Nelson, right downtown on the Whiskey Row. So we're sitting on the bar on the corner, and the patrons are all there during the barrel pick trip. So we got basically the whole bar, except for there's a guy sitting next to me, kind of an unassuming gentleman, and I was kind of talking to him a little bit. I had no idea who I was. Not that everybody knows who I am, but he said, I'm like, well, what are you here for? And he's like, oh, I have an old fashioned mix. So I started talking to him about it a little bit, and this is his old fashioned mix. Now, we've tried a few old fashioned mixes, and to be quite honest, most of them are not great. They're okay. They're not great. This is actually fantastic. We've been trying this with a lot of different.
Best part, tell them, is how little of it you need to really make the drink.
You should just come on camera and sell it real quick.
So it's basically purified water, sugar, savory, and citrus bitters. So it's just the ingredients that you want. You have to refrigerate it after it's open. But it takes what? A third?
We go 3 ounces into
So 3 ounces. 3 ounces of bourbon and a third ounce of this. So yes, it will last forever. But just one more time so you guys get a look at it. It makes a really good old fashioned really quickly. And we've tried it with a whole bunch of different types of bourbons and ryes. That is, I'm gonna make a video about this because I'm more than happy to rep this cat. Really good stuff. Thank you, Tim. Tim Lewis. Tim Lewis in a super chat. This is a Tag Heuer Formula One. It's my favorite watch. It's got a ceramic in the middle and ceramic on the outside. It's great because I work at a desk a lot, so it literally makes it scratch proof. I freaking love it. Yeah, not sponsored. I wish we were sponsored. That would be Tag Heuer. Shout me out. I don't think we're gonna get sponsored on Tag Heuer with the viewership that we get on YouTube just yet. Yes, Aaron. We agreed. Old fashioned mixes are almost always too sweet for me. Agreed. This one is not. This guy. You only need a tiny bit of it. He freaking nailed it. If you like your old fashions not sweet, and you tend to like Angostura and orange type bitters kind of in the mix. Yeah, very little bit of cardamom in it. It's absolutely fantastic. Tom, not at this point. It will not be available in bottleshop.com, but at some point, he's very small. You can order him online. You can order online for him, but I would encourage you to try it out.
You're gonna do an actual
Yeah, I'll do an actual video and do the tags and all that stuff. But dude, thank you very much. That's actually a really good idea to finally trying the JT Malik 6-year sample you sent. Delicious. Thank you. Yeah, the JT Malik. I really am stoked the JT.
Yeah, the GT milk stuff is good. That's it's distilled from rice, correct? Right? Is that what it was?
Mhm.
That stuff's good.
All rice. Yeah, all rice. Respect. Oh, yeah, Brandon, it was really great to meet you at Wild Turkey, man. I really enjoyed hanging out with you, man. It's funny because I'm going to say this here because he's not here, but it's funny because Sean from the Bourbon Junkies was there, and Brandon, who's not on camera, not that I'm aware of, maybe pops his finger. Actually found Brandon quite a bit more engaging and entertaining. Sean was pretty fun to hang out with a little bit, but Brandon was like just on it, talking, and I was talking to him quite a bit. So it was kind of funny. It was like if I hadn't known the two guys, I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Sean probably gets tired of talking a lot, but anyway, in that instance, man, I really enjoyed meeting you, brother. That was really fantastic. So, but what you got besides emptying your glass? You want to talk about champagne?
No,
No?
I want to get the chat's thoughts on whether they think overseas releases are worth paying the extra price tag for, such as like the Blanton's Black, the Green, the Wild Turkey 12s, like that. Like if they're worth going for. All right, what the chat's thoughts on that are.
We should have brought the Wild Turkey 12 over.
I should have.
The Wild Turkey 12
I
lives
didn't.
at Bondas Jr.'s house.
It
That's
is
a good bottle.
yeah.
So
My pride and joy.
what do you guys think? So let's put it in the chat. What do you guys think about overseas releases? Is basically the question. So Blanton's Red, Wild Turkey 12,
Green too, right? Blanton's Green.
Yeah, Blanton's. There's a few Blantons that are overseas releases. Just in general, anything that's like not available
or
here
like
that you can
duty
get.
free options or like that kind of stuff. Things you don't like
Duty free options, like they had the Jack Daniels sherry finished, the
Mhm.
travel sherry finished blue bottle. We actually did a side by side with that and the limited release one that's sitting behind me here that you can't quite see. That tab says depends on the brand. That's true. Which one did I have? I had one time that was a little under one. Oh, you know what? I wasn't. So we have the Jack Daniels twice barreled single malt and sherry finished casks. They had a travel version that was a single malt sherry finished. It was not this one, and it definitely was not as good.
Okay.
But it's cheaper.
I think I know which one you're talking about. I think I tried that
It's
one
a
too.
1 liter bottle too.
Yeah.
I probably still have a sample.
It has like the kind of bluish label on it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Blue lip. Yep. Correct. Kind of that.
I was gonna say I
color.
hope so because it's colorblind and all. But
Yeah, you're right. Depends on the bottle. The Wild Turkey 12 and 8 are great. Correct. And that's going to segue us here in just a minute into the Wild Turkey 8-year-old. Not really understanding the why of them. It's just hype. People are traveling. They like to spend money when they travel. The duty free is duty free, which is it's kind of horseshit because the bottles are more expensive. It's just about getting something different, and they're taking advantage of your kind of shopper loose pocket there. So they do those exclusive releases. Macallan does a lot of them.
But if you're in the other country and you're able to find it at like a normal store there, then you can get it a lot cheaper.
True.
For example, a 12. Right?
If you buy there, and
Yeah.
true. But technically, you're supposed to pay duty, right?
Well, not if you don't open it before you get on the plane. Like when I bought my Wild Turkey 12, they bagged it up right then and there, and then I packed it in my suitcase bagged. If the bag was open, then they charged me the tax and all that. But
Interesting.
because they put it in a bag and didn't open it, I didn't have to pay tax or anything.
Hot tip. What's up, Frankie? What's going on? Is there a Wild Turkey father and son? What do you mean, like a release? I mean, there is some that are.
That's us.
Jimmy and. Huh? Yeah. Wild Turkey father and son. There's like Jimmy and Eddie and Bruce Russell releases. Got my Blanton's Gold in the mail. Thank you. You're the best. Martin Drummer, what's going on, man? Yes, we have Blanton's Gold and Straight from the Barrel. Technically, those are overseas because they're 700 mils.
Oh, there you go. Europe release.
But they're priced good. Crack the new Wild Turkey 8-year Sunday night. Frankie, yes, they are starting to drop. They're starting to drop. That was the other thing I want to talk about today. Tom got one today. A couple other people said that they've got them.
Mhm.
I do not have my bottle yet. They haven't dropped here yet.
Yeah.
But they're starting to drop around the country in some places, so keep an eye out for that. $45 is the target, people. $45.
People complain about being able to get stuff, but we can't get it. So.
I know they say that, but then there are certain things here that like that take longer to get here. Like Penelope takes forever to get here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, people had the Havana for weeks before we got ours. It was crazy. Also the Jameson Triple Triple that's different from the US release is great too. Yeah, so that's the funny thing is you'll have an overseas release Triple Triple.
Yeah.
Ours Triple Triple here, not the same.
What's the difference?
They just are blended differently.
Oh.
The Wild Turkey 8-year overseas and the Wild Turkey 8-year here, supposedly pretty much the same.
Okay.
Sometimes they blend them for different palates.
Well, yeah, 'cause different
Japanese stuff.
countries,
Yeah,
they like a more mellow, fruity kind of.
exactly.
Yeah.
Have different types of notes. Let's see. So you said crack the 8-year on Sunday night. It's good, but think the 70th is slightly elevated. Think it needs some more airtime. That's interesting. Frankie, let it air a little bit because the general consensus and my expression, my feeling on it was it has more sense of maturity to it, more maple notes, more dark fruit notes. One of the guys did say that they thought that the 70th had a little bit more spice to
Mm.
it. We will be doing. I had a 70th. We will be doing the 70th versus the 8-year uh, when it comes. So we will be doing that. I'll probably put the 8-year and the 12-year together too, and we'll see how that goes. Because I did do a
Yeah, I'll have to bring it
101,
over again.
yeah, 101 70th 12-year. We did do that. That video,
Yeah.
you can find that on YouTube. Helios says, "Is there a tequila matchmaker equivalent for bourbons?" Tequila matchmaker. Helios, you're gonna have to put in the chat. What do you mean by tequila matchmaker?
I think it's like a website where you can search tequila, shows you shops that have it probably. There's a
Interesting.
site I've used for whiskey. I just can't remember what it's called.
Does it like help you find certain types of
Yeah,
whiskey?
like when I was looking for that Polish rye obtainium, I used a site and it like showed me all the shops near me that had them, and then that's where I went and got it.
That's interesting. There are those things out there. We are actually talking to one called Bourbon Finder. That's kind of a hunter website. There's some ways of doing it out there. I find the best way to do it is to talk to people. Like some of the shops, they're not gonna put it online. They're not gonna have an online inventory, and they're gonna have stuff behind the counter. And those are the places where we try to find them so far. Martin Drummer says, "How's the Stag 24C worth an MSRP?" It is worth an MSRP. Yeah,
I think I have that one.
yeah. The Stags, I think, pretty much without fail are worth MSRP.
Yeah. Always.
I mean, some are better than others for sure. Like sometimes they'll be real hitters, but
I think you can't go wrong with the Stag MSRP, no matter what variant it is, version it is.
I think that's a fair statement. Because MSRP is what, $70?
Yeah, I thought it was like 80, 70,
Yeah, 70, $80. A Stag. Listen, I've had people say the main criticism of Stag is that it's too hot and it's too young.
It is pretty hot. But if you like the proof and the spice, it's good.
It can be hot, but I like Stag. It's that low
Yeah.
proof or not low proof, low rye content,
High proof.
high proof bourbons.
Yeah, I like it personally.
Kind of my jam.
If you're a big cash drinker, worth 100%.
Yeah, I think so. I think the problem with Stag Junior is a lot of people get turned off by it because of the price markups.
Yeah, because you
And
go
that's an
you go to
argument.
random, shops on secondary. It's ridiculous. $200 and whatever dollars.
Yeah, don't pay over $200 for a Stag. I mean, I could see paying $150 for a Stag.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Stag is one of those things we just cannot get. I cannot seem to get it worked out in the shop.
But even if you're gonna go secondary on a Stag, like do your research on which one you're doing, because some aren't worth the big markup. I feel like.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna pay a big markup for it, then which version you're getting and how good it is might be more of a
Yeah, it definitely
might be
matters.
more of an issue. There is a FOMO thing about that too. Like, if you've never had a Stag,
It might be
then-
worth to pay a little more for the first time.
so for your first Stag Junior, if you had to pay $200, because it was the only shot you were gonna get,
Yeah,
it didn't matter. It wouldn't matter which version it is, or
it's just once you've had a few of them, then you start to notice the difference.
you get to a certain point. We did in the Patreon. We did Stagapalooza last year.
Yeah.
And because we got access to so many stags, I don't want to say no to them. We just bought up a whole bunch of them and gave them all away to the Patreon.
Yeah.
I just started getting into American single malts. Love the Stranahan's Diamond Peak. Don't love the Pete's. Got any favorites I could check out? So I'm gonna assume William Ziegler. Good question, brother. You guys please put it in the chat. William, look at the chat for single malts that aren't peated. I'm gonna assume that because you said the Stranahan's and you're probably fairly new to malts and scotches and stuff in general, you should probably stick to the lighter, easier single malts, right? Because you can get into single malts like Westward single malts are fantastic, but they can be a little bit
Yeah, I was gonna say that Balcones one's good. It doesn't have peat, but it's a lot.
little smoke to it, but not
You
peated.
think? Yeah, it's not peat.
I don't think it's peated.
No, it's
we don't
not.
have that. I don't have a bottle of that here.
No,
So
it's not. But it is a lot of flavor. You know what I mean?
yeah, I do really like. And I know you guys are a fanboy on this, but I do really like the Redwood Empire's Foggy Barrel. I think it's
That's smoky.
it's not peated.
No, but it has.
It's a very approachable. It's subtle. See, Tom is saying Foggy Barrel and courage and conviction.
Mm.
It's very approachable. It's not super punchy. It's not peated.
Yeah.
So if it has some smokiness to it, it's not smoke notes. It's just a sense that he's getting on it. I don't really get smoke on that. Rick's backing up Tom. So William, if you can find a Redwood Empire Foggy Bro, which they should be available right now, you can get it at bondedbottleshop.com. We've got a good price on it. You can get it there. If you find some other bottles or something, you can combine your shipping up. But look around. You might be able to find Foggy Bro locally. It's the most expensive, I think, of the. I think it's $79.
I mean, I've seen it locally still, so you can get them.
Yeah, it's more expensive than some of the other small lot series.
Yeah.
But single malts tend to kind of carry a slightly higher price tag.
Yes.
There are some really great single malts out there. There's some really great. We just tried Warfield from Idaho that I'm going to do a video on that I was quite shocked at. To be honest with you. Not a single malt fan, but Parker's 14 year was amazing. I like bourbon a lot. Good tip. Difficult to find. William, you're gonna have a really hard time finding that one.
Yeah, Parker's 14.
It's gonna be super expensive.
Oh,
yeah, if you guys have got any other ideas of single malts that are not peaty, not smoky, that are not super expensive, that William might be able to find, put that in the chat.
Tim Lewis with the super chat. Best barrel proof shelfer with some age.
Oh,
ooh, that's
barrel proof shelfer. Oof. Okay, so the easy answer to that is Elijah Craig barrel proof.
I have an answer.
What's that?
I prefer over Elijah Craig barrel proof. Those Jack Daniel barrel proof ryes.
So the barrel proof ryes are not. Well, it's hard to say with the age on them.
Yeah, but they definitely have some years on them. They're not super.
They're not
young.
super young.
Yeah,
they're not super young. But the reason I say Elijah Craig barrel proof
is
because ECBPs have got some good proof to them.
Yeah.
I like that punchy flavor profile. They can be 10, 12. We saw 13 years last year.
Yeah.
I really, really like that one. And when he says barrel proof shelfer, that kind of implies it's got to be readily available.
Okay, well, here, to be fair, those barrel proof ryes are available.
Right.
So maybe for other places.
I think most of the country, if you look around, you can find a Elijah Craig barrel proof right now.
That's true. Yeah.
I like Booker's, but Booker's can be a little tougher. And you're talking about Elijah Craig barrel proof is what, a $70 bottle?
Yeah, but
without a lot of variation.
Yeah.
I mean, I think personally that like Smoke Eye Hill barrel proof, not a lot of age, better than a lot of Elijah Craig barrel proofs. Not all of them.
Yeah, but that's how I feel with the Jack Daniel's barrel proofs. I'm like, those are bomb.
That's true. Jack Daniel's barrel proof bourbons can be really, really good too.
Both of them, yeah.
But most of those are going to be, those might be a little harder to find. That is a good one.
I guess that we're a little spoiled here, aren't we, with those?
Yeah, well. Heyo says Wild Turkey Rare Breed or Peerless Toasted Double Oak. That's an easy for me rare breed. Heyo, how you doing? Heyo. Knob Creek Single Barrel. Definitely wild. We're big Wild Turkey fans right here. Not just because we went to Wild Turkey. I've always said that Rare Breed was one of the best dollar for dollar bottles you could get. I love Rare Breed. The Master's Keeps are amazing. 101 is the only bottle we buy in this house in 175s. And the new 8 years might be the new king of bargains for under $50 bottles. I don't know. We're going to see when that comes out. Pete brings up a good point about the price point. Peerless is way more expensive. They're Heyo. Aaron Howard says Knob Creek single barrels. I like the Knob Creek single barrels. I'm not a giant Knob Creek fan. I like Knob Creek.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of Knob Creek.
To me, they don't have enough proof.
Well, that's an interesting point. Some of the Knob Creekers can be 120s.
Yeah.
You're thinking of the hundreds. There are some.
Well, most single barrels are like around 100.
Yeah, if you want more proof, you got to go.
Yeah. I don't have any Elijah Craigs. You can at least get in the 130s with those.
The Elijah Craigs can get hot.
Yeah.
I mean, in the best possible way for sure.
Knob Creeks are good. I just wish they had a little more punch to them.
Big fan of Knob Creek single barrels. I like the Knob Creeks. I
love the 12. 12 is great.
See, I think the 12 is your sweet spot for price and experience, but I like the 15 a lot.
Yeah, 15 is really good.
18's too hokey.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about releasing a 21, I believe. I pass.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine, but it's like this constant press for older and older and older. In bourbon, there's a point of diminishing return. In fact, Bruce Russell talked about that in our interview. Mm-hmm. There is a point of diminishing return. And he said that around the 15-year mark, 14 to 17, he thinks that's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
I mean, what does he know? It's just last name's Russell. I don't know. I really enjoyed Orphan Barrel 26-year single grain Scotch.
That's the mucky muck,
That's
right?
different. Yeah, that really is a fantastic bottle, but Scotches are different. I think Scotches just keep getting better and better and better, but you have a massive difference in temperatures.
Big difference in temperature, big difference of it entries, what it's made of. It's just completely different.
I think Scotch doesn't even start getting decent until 12.
Yeah, 15.
15s, 18s. 18, I think, is the magic point for Scotch. You can get better, but then you get crazy.
I think 29 is pretty good.
All right, they're black art.
Tim Lewis with another super chat. Just sipped that BPJD rye and told my wife I thought it needed age. So he thinks the Jack Bourbon needs age on it.
So Tim, thank you for the super chats, you guys. That's really fantastic, Tim. Tim's my super chatter. Tim, you're the man. Super chat. I'm going to answer your question 100% of the time. As we get busier, that's going to be a much bigger deal. I do agree that the Jack Daniel's barrel proof ryes are fantastic. You could argue that they need more age.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do a really good job of blending in some older stuff because there's definitely some age to it.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. You could argue that they would do better with more age.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could totally argue that. But then that's why the price only is $69.
Yes, cheap.
Age them up too much, you're going to get expensive. Chad says I recently got a sample of Parker Heritage's double barrel, opening it this week. The Parker Heritages can be really, really good. I don't buy bottles of Parker Heritage because they go kind of wild, but I've tried a few, mostly at bars. Andy just said, Jimmy.
Courage and Conviction Cuvée cask is a pretty good American single malt.
Thank you, Henry. Yeah, Courage and Conviction is very popular for the single malts. We got to get more into some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, most Knob Creek single barrels are 120. If you pick a single barrel higher, they prove it down to 120. I'd be super interested in a Knob Creek higher.
Yeah,
just to see what it's like. Probably really good.
I wish they would. It's like.
Yeah, they do what they do, and they do what they do, and that's.
I mean, 120 is fine, but I want to taste like a 130, 135 proofer.
Kenny's in the house. Beers, boards, and beards. For those that don't know, I don't need proof. It just has to taste good. I think that's a good.
Yeah.
Good. It's a good point. Speaking of which, what's the proof on this? We didn't even talk about.
Probably like 100.
You want to guess the proof on the Evernote Night Stalker?
It tastes kind of light to me.
Here, you want to try here? Here, let's let Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet Jr.
Miss Whiskey Bonnet Jr.
Someday there will be a someday there will be a Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet Jr. If y'all know any eligible young ladies, no, just kidding.
Huh?
We're not gonna that's gonna get weird. So, Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet Jr. and Bonnet Jr. Don't put it in the chat. Don't say anything because they don't know. No cheating. They're gonna get the proof on this. And I'll tell
What's
you
the proof? Because I need to kind of base it off what I was drinking before. The haystack needle. What's the proof on that? Because I had that first.
That's 124.
That's 124. Ooh.
Yeah, heavy plum. I could say plum raisin. I wouldn't say heavy. Your nose is definitely different
Since
than mine.
that was 124, I'm gonna go 112 on that.
Okay, so your official guess is 112.
112.6.
Okay. Do you want to take the over or the under?
No, you have to guess a number. You can't just do over under. Come on now. It's Price is Right rules. Price is Right rules.
So the official
This is about going over.
Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet is giving a smash.
It's a smash. It's good.
There you go, Brandon. Tell the boys, tell the junkies. Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet has officially rated this a smash. You don't need Fred Minnick to taste it. You've gotten your. It's like a gold medal. She's picky. 115?
You're like sniping my guess.
See now. And you said what?
112.6.
Okay, so if we go closest without going over, Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet wins.
No way.
Here's the problem. You like high proof stuff. So
I like high proof stuff too. That tasted mellow.
No, this is 124.2.
What? It's the same as haystack? No way.
Let's see if we can get it in there.
What?
We're shooting it at 120, so I went 115.
It's not gonna. There it goes. You can see it.
That is the.
Yes.
That is the like most chill, mellow 124 I've ever drank.
I would say it definitely.
That is the that's crazy.
I mean,
in the best way, it's a mellow 124.
I think some of the rice spice that comes through, some of the prickleness comes through. It's got some bold flavor to it though. I wouldn't call it mellow.
Maybe it's because I was just drinking high proof,
but it drinks very similar in heat to our old Lou pick, and it's
Shooting at 120. I'm like, it drinks kind of like our old Lou.
So our old Lou pick is 120.6. No, it's no. The standard one is 115. So the old Lou is 120.6. This is 124.2. Pretty similar. So I'll tell you what it doesn't have though. It doesn't have a velvet tracksuit.
Oh.
Well, but you say plum. It's plum. You're splitting hairs. I'm gonna nitpick freaking. Yeah, really, really good. I obviously I'll do reviews on these, but I can tell you right now how my review is going to turn on that. One, the bottles are freaking beautiful. The stained art, the stained glass artwork, fantastic. Yeah, we'll break into them. Maybe not right now, maybe now. I don't know. We'll see. See how far we go here. An excellent malt whiskey, albeit lesser known, is Frey Ranch Quad Malt. Highly recommended. Henry, that's a controversial statement. We were actually in a chat last week that said that the Quad Malt was the only Frey Ranch they didn't like. Yeah, Peter. Yeah, having the camera on Bonda Jr. gets you the eye rolls. Peter said the eye rolls.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, I'm not thinking about it. Everyone can see the true reaction now. I don't know. Something.
So interesting. Brandon says Dan calls this one peaches and cream. It's funny because, dare I say, stone fruits? It's funny that you say that, Brandon, because I do believe, I am a believer, and I bank on this when I do videos, that by saying it, you taste it. So taste it and see if you get peaches or cream. I can say why he says I would not have guessed cream. Peaches I can get. Technically, it's a stone fruit.
Yeah, it is. It's true. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that Dan probably has a more refined palate than me. I don't know. I could get peaches now that you said it. I would not have guessed that. But the cream, I'm assuming he means vanilla and mouthfeel combination. I could see why you would say cream, but I wouldn't have thought to say that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I went
You're
from
mixing
the
palates.
haystack needle to this, so it's hard to like.
It's delicious. I will give him that.
I need to drink it by itself.
I mean, it really is fantastic. Stone fruits. Stone fruits. Brandon says stone fruits all day. I mean, I said plum. That's a stone fruit. So we're dancing around the stone fruits.
Yeah.
Hobbs says if it doesn't come with an Adidas tracksuit, I don't want it. Sorry, guys. What is it, Martin Drummer? What has been the most recent bourbon that blew your mind, and now it's a new favorite? Oh man,
What's my name?
you want to fill that one? Go ahead. What's your favorite?
The chicken cock Chanticleer.
Oh, the Chanticleer.
Yeah.
Where is that? But I moved
Right
things
behind
around.
you, right above your
Is
head.
it? I can't see it.
Over
The
here.
chicken cock Chanticleer cognac finish is fantastic. How about one that is not finished? Can you think of a bourbon? I know you haven't been trying a lot of new stuff. You haven't been over there trying
Limousine, or not the limousine, whatever the Garrison Brothers.
Oh, the Garrison Brothers
Laguna
the Louisiana
Madre.
finish. The Laguna Madre.
Well, that's not a finish, is it? It's just a type of
No,
wood.
it's a barrel finished, but it's not like.
But it's just
yeah,
the wood. It's
that's
not
fine.
like
It's the wood.
Yeah,
It's the wood.
Laguna Madre.
Yeah.
Is that finished or no?
No, it's not. I will tell you that the art. Listen, I'm not. Obviously, we pick our picks because we thought they were fantastic. The chicken cock pick when it comes out, and I'm gonna have to wait and see and revisit the rare character pick to see. But I'm pretty sure that chicken cock pick is hands down gonna be the best thing we ever picked. I mean, we've revisited the sample a couple times, and every time I've sipped it, it's been like, damn, like I forgot how good that damn thing is. It's that's all I'm gonna say about that. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Um, way better tasting. Oh, so we're talking about Sladvin's talking about the Evernorth. I'm not going to be able to talk on the series. This is the first one we've got. Brandon C just says Green River experimental base. Oh, we're talking about. So we're talking about the Evernorth spirits from the Bourbon Junkies. Thanks to Brandon T, my new buddy. I'm not familiar with Old Louisville. Chaz, do yourself a favor and get familiarized with Old Louisville. I said I've got my review video I'm going to drop probably tomorrow. What's up, Robo? But if you like rare character, if you like Old Carter, which is a bold statement, but Old Louisville is one you're gonna want to watch. They really, Mean really is an up and comer. He's got some amazing barrels. We tasted a dozen things or more. Everything was good. I would have bottled and sold anything that we tasted. We picked out our Old Louisville pick out of 7, and it absolutely is fantastic. It's a double oaked, 7 years in one barrel, a year and 4 months in a second barrel. It's age stated 7 years, but it's almost 8.5 years. It's under $100. It's 120 proof when the standard offering is 115. You guys go to bondabottleshop.com, buy the Old Louisville double oaked bourbon. There's also Colby's double oaked rye in there, but it's really, really good. Don't get me wrong. If you like I like, rich notes, chocolate, marshmallow, cherry cola, like do you, it's dude, it's really, really good. Yeah, Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet was just like cherry bomb, bam, done. But it's just I like the thing that I really loved about our Rye 3 was those marshmallow chocolate, like campfire marshmallow chocolate s'mores. It has a little of that sense, but there's a lot more cherry to it. It's got brighter notes to it. It's just it's really, really fantastic. And as I said, I drank through quite a bit of that bottle. There's a reason for that. I really, really am enjoying that one a lot. I'm never going to use to. Do I get avocado?
Stone fruit.
I don't know that I've ever got avocado on a whiskey. Maybe that's my new mission: is to find a whiskey, creamy, maybe an avocado mouthfeel.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, could be.
So, I will tell you something. I want to. This Old Crow is sitting here. Glass bottle, by the way. It's not Old Crow 86. I actually went and got this bottle because I walked into the Total Wine. What's he thinking back there? What did you grab? Boy, I'll come over and drink all the expensive stuff. I'm looking here holding the Old Crow 86. I actually went into the Total Wine and said, "What's the least expensive bottle of whiskey that I can buy?" And I'm going to do a video on it. But this was the least expensive bottle of whiskey I could find. I don't know if you guys know anything about Crow 86. It's just Jim Beam product. I'm not going to say anything other than it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but that ain't saying a whole lot. It's interesting. Brandon's talking about you guys. Brandon and Tapper having conversation. You guys watch the chat. Watch the chat. Let's see. Chicken cock double oak versus Woodford Reserve double oaked. Yikes. I think what's up? Oh, there's Garrett. Yeah, Garrett, we playing with the new. Thanks, you're late. We were talking shit on you a little bit ago, brother, about being from Michigan. You can figure out why. So Martin Drummer, good, interesting question. Chicken cock double oaked, Woodford Reserve double oaked.
Woodford double oak tastes like?
I think Woodford Reserve double oak is better for a beginner, and chicken cock double oak is better for a more experienced drinker. You guys put it in the chat. We guys got to put it in the chat. Got to put it in the chat to see what you think. Which is better, Woodford Reserve double oak, chicken cock double oak? Yeah, Garrett missed the Schwanky Orc. Is Garrett missed the Evernorth bottle pop? Good bottle pop. I find that the fake corks,
good ones.
Good bottle pops.
Real corks hit and miss.
Ooh, Aaron's got a good. Love the 1910 over the Woodford Reserve double oak. Yeah, I'm gonna go Old Forester over Woodford in general almost all the time.
Yeah, it's fair.
Be hard pressed for me to if you did a Woodford Reserve batch proof.
No,
might be
Woodford.
Stop it.
Five malt stout and mash.
Worst bottle of whiskey I ever bought.
Unbelievably good. Everyone go buy that bottle right now.
Rick said chicken cock is better. Chicken cock double oak starts in used barrels and finishes in new. Creates a totally different profile. Good call. There's that unique knowledge base of Burbo. Ooh, Fox and Odin double oaked is well worth a buy. Interesting. Woodford Reserve double oak pick from a good location. I've heard that too. The Woodford Reserve. I've never bought a Woodford Reserve double oak single barrel pick.
I don't think I've
seen
one.
them. Seen them. Brady's had one recently.
Oh, did they?
I just can't really super get into the Woodford thing.
But I feel like the Rayleigh's one probably is just going to be like very on profile. It's going to be very different.
It might be. I personally think that the best double oaked on the market right now, the old Louisville whiskey bonded single barrel pick with the tracksuit.
With the tracksuit.
Yeah, tracksuit. No extra cost for the tracksuit. Woodford 5 malt stouted mash. Sladvin, that was the worst bottle of whiskey I ever bought. Do not buy that
from
bottle.
Woodford. Go buy it right now.
Garbage. I will not say that very much. I do have a video I recorded for something I did not like. I'm debating making the I don't like this videos Patreon exclusives.
You could do that
because I don't want to talk bad on anybody. But if I put it in the go get it, Chaz. If I put it in the Patreon, then it's not out in the public. you boys can get my real feelings on things. Normally, what I've been doing is if I don't like a bottle, I just kind of don't. You can either tell in the way that I talk about it, or I just don't talk about it at all. Bradley Boopers, I'm sipping on the Pursuit United Double Oak right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I like the Double Oak stuff. I like the Double Oak stuff. With one exception. Didn't care for the Peerless Double Oak bourbon. I didn't. I'm not talking about the one that we went and tasted on the. I had a bottle, the one we stood in line for. Didn't dig. Too oaky.
Hey, Slodvon, if you're trying to get rid of it, I might know a guy.
Never opened.
I love that bottle.
Yikes. Slodvon, if you want to email inquire@whiskeybonded.com, then I'll forward that to Obana Jr. here and you guys can talk. He loves that damn bottle. He took it for me.
Good.
After I'd done all the content on like a thing to do.
Mine has one tiny pour left in it.
The Play-Doh one.
I love that bottle.
For me, it was Play-Doh.
No, to me it tastes like an English breakfast tea, but a whiskey. It's so good. Oh, I don't know. I love it.
I pass. Oh, Burbo said the Old Lou Double Oak pick we did is so fantastic. Cracked it last night. I will say to Burbo's credit, Burbo does know what he's talking about. He has a small whiskey collection. The number, nobody knows. It's a mystery, but it's big. Huge. It's huge. The whiskey collection's huge. Really big.
Might need to keep working on that one.
I'm working on it. Keep that in the Discord. We want the tea. Yeah, I will. That's kind of the way I was leaning is to put it in the Patreon as Patreon only. We're gonna do the my real thoughts. Yeah.
Basic Bourbon got a Coy Hill.
I just grabbed a Coy Hill Barrel House 8. So excited to try it. The Coy Hills that I've had are fantastic. Big flavor. Especially if you like Jack Daniels in general. If you like Jack Daniels barrel proof single barrels, it really is I think it probably is the best that Jack Daniels has to offer. I'm trying to, in general, the Coy Hills probably is the best that I've had of Jack Daniels.
Yeah, I haven't had one, but
I can't think of anything that would be better. Jazz's Peach Note Peerless Single Barrel is damn good. I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm not saying they're even bad. It's just how expensive and hard is Buffalo Trace products about to get? They're already impossible to find in North Carolina. Big Daddy, they're not.
Yeah, I was going to say it might be a state-by-state thing because here they're not.
I don't think Buffalo Trace products are going to get sent. What he's talking about is the flooding.
Oh, he's talking about that.
Flooding shut down distilling for a few days, and even though they do distill massive numbers every day, Buffalo Trace had already massively increased their distilling capacity, like big time, a few years ago. In fact, that a lot of that whiskey is now coming to age right now, so they're fine. I guarantee you, this month with the flood shutdown, they still produced more whiskey than they would have had in a normal month 7 years ago.
Probably. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be fine.
Brandon said he loved the 23 JD Heritage Double Barrel Rye. That's all you have, no?
Yes, I do have the 23 Heritage Double Barrel Rye.
I think I tried that.
It is really fantastic. I personally, when I think of Jack Daniels, I kind of consider the Jack Daniels Rye off profile for Jack Daniels. It's not, but like when I want Jack Daniels, I'm thinking the low rye mash bill stuff, the barrel proof bourbons. Now their ryes are fantastic, and I thought triple mash was quite good. Their single malt's really good too.
Yeah.
But when I think Jack Daniels, I'm thinking, Sinatra single barrel bourbons, the regular single barrel bourbon, the low proofer one, that kind of profile. Like that's what I think of when I think of Jack Daniels. But yes, the heritage. In fact, I got it here. I know you guys know how I love when you guys say a bottle that I have right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bottle Brandon's talking about, the twice barreled special release heritage rye. Really fantastic rye. Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet doesn't love Jack Daniels ryes. Yeah, they do. They are. It is a really fantastic bottle. You can see I've really tried to slow roll that one because that's one I'm never going to get another one of. But if anybody comes over to the house, I'll pour it for them. Do you want to try some?
It's a good bottle.
Glass?
Oh, well, we got like 20 glasses over there, so it should be all right.
Shout out to the Off the Rails Whiskey Festival that's coming up in June. If you haven't got your tickets,
# sponsored or
no, not # sponsored. Okay. Nate, are you gonna figure out the damn echo?
Bro, we tested it yesterday. There was no echo. I don't know how there's an echo today.
You mess with the volume level.
No, I put it back to how it was, and it's yeah, but I don't. I think you talk louder now than we did when we were testing. Might be the problem.
Maybe I do. I think it's you that's echoing, not me.
Maybe I don't know. I feel like I'm talking the same volume though. I don't know why it's echoing now. I think we need to get 2 mics like this and not that. Is the problem?
Whatever, dude.
Okay.
So that has a little bit of charred smoke to it. It's interesting. I haven't had that in a long time. And usually when I drink something like this, I'm trying not to be drinking anything else. But Alive is kind of off the cuff. The twice barreled rye is superb. The Tennessee Taster version of it they put out last year is also a phenomenon. Echo comes and goes. Interesting.
That's weird.
Ryan said, "I'll see you on the train." I don't know if we're going to be on the train this year.
Oh,
So I went, Ryan, I will see you there for 100%. If you guys are going to the Off the Rails Whiskey Festival, I will be there 100%. Kenny said, the guy who chugged champagne is echoing.
dude.
Better than slurring. We think,
I didn't chug the champagne. I drank it before I even got on the call.
It's too bitter. It's got that lemon like
want to try?
oak.
Yeah. Let me try this. I remember it being really good.
So look at how we're passing from one location to the other. It's like magic. The cameras. The Jack Daniel's barrel proof stuff.
Oh, that's so good, dude.
The char notes. Anytime you get oak and char influence, wood, tannin influence into the whiskey, Miss Whiskey Bottle doesn't love it. So I'm not really surprised by that. As far as the off the rails whiskey thing, we did the train last year. I don't know. It's gonna be hot. Probably just gonna cut that off and just go straight to the whiskey festival, straight into the air conditioning. But the train was really great last year. It was Macallan. I don't know what they're doing this year. Maybe the Macallan again. Rick, you don't have a ticket yet? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is Uncle Rick gonna bail on us? Oh, I'm gonna have to set that aside and drink that later. That is fantastic.
That's really
Brandon,
good.
you're 100% correct. I haven't had that in a while.
Smash, 100%.
The problem with having large whiskey collections, sometimes you forget. We're getting a smash from Junior and a pass from Mrs. Henry Hickey. I hear Jack Daniel's single barrel proof batch 101 is essentially Coy Hill. There was a lot of stuff going around about some of those single barrels, and the notation of which rick house and such they came out of, and allegedly, I think this is true, some of them came from the Coy Hill rick house. That doesn't make them Coy Hills, my opinion.
Yeah.
Coy Hill is a branding that they use to pull some of the best barrels out of the Coy Hill rick house, but top to bottom, inside to outside, not everything in the Coy Hill rick house is Coy Hill.
Yeah.
But might be good.
Breaking news.
Kenny?
Breaking news. Official. Rick's House Bourbon is getting his ticket to Off the Rails, so he will be there.
He said, "I'll get it. I'll see it. I'll believe when I see
Breaking news right here.
it." Well, breaking news. He's gonna get it. That's not breaking news.
He's trying to get it. He's trying to navigate the website right now.
We can't do it with. Listen, I will shut that whole mother down if Rick don't come. Let me tell you something right now. If Rick does not come to the Off the Rails Whiskey Festival, there will be no Off the Rails Whiskey Festival. I will derail the train and burn that bitch to the ground. It's not going to be. If we were on TikTok right now, I'd just gotten banned.
It's a lot of pressure, Rick.
Rick, if we have to come to your house in a white sedan and throw your ass in the trunk, well, we will do that. I know that the boys will be happy to join me. Rick has said that several times. Okay, so a hand raise in the chat if you are also willing to join me in kidnapping Rick and driving him in the back of a car all the way to California. Let's raise those hands. Aaron Howard said, "I'm an outlier. I want my rye to taste like a rye, not a bourbon." That's what they make high rye bourbons for.
Yeah.
Agreed. Want it to taste like a rye. Rick said, "Have I missed an event yet?" That is a very fair point, and the answer is no.
Well, we can put Rick on the Amtrak with "He Who Should Not Be Named," you know.
And Rick does, because that's supposed to be a surprise. Because when Rick means he hasn't missed an event, he meant period, not a drop, not a launch,
everything.
nowhere, nothing. He goes to everything. There's all your hands, Rick. So want to go, but taking 3 21-year-olds to Vegas. Joyce, that sounds terrible. We're gonna have probably a dozen guys that are not 21 that act like they're 21, plus a few guys that are barely more than 21, all at the same spot. It's a laugh riot. Except for Junior last year. Wasn't a laugh
Hey,
riot.
it was a
Started
riot.
laugh
it
riot.
was a riot until it all fell apart.
Started as a riot, turned into a yeah.
Yeah,
There was a train at the beginning and a train wreck at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
Not the same train.
That's how it goes.
You went off the rails.
I did go off the rails. I stuck to the namesake.
Basic bourbon hunter or drinker said, basic bourbon drinker said, when JD comes out with the 18-year, I worry it will be a true museum piece. I'm not even going to try that.
Oh yeah.
Try it. I know one person that'll get one. Rick.
Oh, Rick will get
Rick
one.
will have 2. That'll be the only person I'll know with any.
And he won't crack it.
Unless Kenny goes over. And then he'll crack it.
Yeah, maybe.
If Jack releases an 18 into 21, I might try to find a place to get a pour.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be really skeptical that a Jack 18 and 21 are going to keep getting better.
I think it might get worse.
It may be that the 12 is the sweet spot for Jack.
I don't know. When we tried that Pappy 23, it just was just disappointing. So
The Pappy 23?
Yeah, it was just
Ooh,
disappointing.
hot take. We need a hot take
Yeah.
button. Can I get a hot take button?
That's not a hot take. That's just that's a normal take. It was. See, the Michter's 20 was insane.
Therein lies the problem.
Pappy 23 was disappointing.
We had the don't beefy. Don't say it again. Okay, he's been circling around. I can hear him outside the window.
Yeah.
Don't keep saying his name.
Say it 2 more times, we might be in trouble.
Person who shall not be named.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we get some access to some cool stuff because of the junkies.
Get my point.
Yep.
Because I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be mind blowing. And then it wasn't. And then I tasted, I think it was your Victor's 20.
It says Michter's 20.
And it was
Well, my
amazing.
Grain of the Gods was disappointing too.
So that's what happened to the train at the Off the Rails Whiskey Festival. We pulled coins that give you a rare pour. We got a Pappy 23, a E.H. Taylor Grain of the Gods.
Yeah, it's like a Amaranth or Grain of the Gods.
Amaranth, Grain of the Gods,
yeah.
right? Which very exciting.
Yeah.
And a Michter's 20. Now, if we hadn't had the Michter's 20, right?
Yeah.
If we hadn't had the Michter's 20, probably been perfectly happy with the Pappy and the H. Taylor.
Yeah.
The problem is the Michter's 20 open-handed slapped with an extra large size glove.
Yeah.
The shit out of those other two.
Yeah, it wasn't even comparable. That Michter's 20 is probably the best bourbon I've had.
Dude, the Michter's 20 is definitely top 5 for sure. It could be top 1 or 2
Yeah.
for sure. It was an incredible pour.
Wasn't even close.
And Mike said, do you have a lapel mic you can put on Joanna? We do need to get another mic.
Yeah.
She's not, yeah, normally she'd be sitting in front of the microphone, but Junior's on the mic today. We will put, in the future, what we're going to do is we are going to recruit some of you fine folks. And we'll put Mrs. on the microphone and some of you in the second window. And we're going to talk about what you guys want to talk about, some of your collections, some of your favorite bottles.
What you can always do too is I can log on from home and set that up, and there'll be no echo that way. So
Yeah.
that might be better, honestly.
Maybe we will see. We will see.
Oh, Kenny's got another super chat.
Oh. Thanks, Kenny.
Drama.
Thank you, sir.
Drama.
Rick lies. He missed the Redwood Empire event, the original.
Oh.
That's true. So Hobby and
Kenny. Was there
were
anyone else?
at the very first whiskey bonded event ever. We
Yeah.
did the private tour of Redwood Empire. That was cool. That was cool because they don't do tours.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't do tours, and the boys came out because they're local.
Yeah, that was just popping around that
was
distillery
badass.
floor. Yeah.
That was very, very cool. See, look, Kenny with the OFC. Someone got the OFC chip though. I wonder who that was. Dude, I have a feeling the last thing, Kenny's gonna be lying in a hospital bed at the end of life, like 30 years from now, really long time, and he's gonna be, and we're all gonna be standing around, and we're like, Kenny, he's gonna be closer, come closer. Kenny, what is it? OFC. That's gonna be Kenny's final words It's gonna be fucking that damn OFC. So I, I will tell you. I'm curious how many people. This is so funny because this gets whittled down to the. So those of you who are still watching the shenanigans, I will tell you a funny story about Kenny and the OFC chip. So I don't know if everybody even knows this, but I'm gonna put Kenny on blast here real quick. First of all, backstory at the Off the Rails Whiskey Festival, everybody got a chip where you could get a rare pour. Okay, uh, Kenny got OFC, which arguably was the most expensive.
Yeah.
I mean,
MSRP.
20
MSRP wise.
Yeah, MSRP is the most expensive bottle, so he got the OFC. It was fantastic. He's super happy with it and has kept the OFC chip. He's the only one that got away with his chip. I still don't know how he did that. He stole it. He comes over here for the Christmas.
Yep.
He dressed as
Give me
Santa
your
Claus.
gift. Yep.
So he comes to the house to surprise me during a live. You can see it online. There's actually a recording. It's the replay is still up. He comes in the Santa Claus outfit to give me a present from the boys, which was amazing. I think he's still sitting up here behind me.
Yeah.
For some freaking reason, probably so he could rub it in our faces on the live, he had the OFC chip with him. So he got here and he didn't have the OFC chip with him. The OFC chip was lost. And Kenny, you could see the panic in his eyes. This is Kenny's most prized possession because he can rub it in all of our faces. So it's not like it's a valuable thing, other than the fact that it is the only one and nobody else, no matter how big your whiskey collection is, how deep your knowledge is, or how old of bourbon bottles you have, nobody else has the OFC chip. Only Kenny, which makes him the penultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he comes over to the house. He doesn't have the OFC chip, and I can see the panic in his eyes a little bit. He's like, I lost the OFC chip. So, well, how'd you lose the OFC chip? He goes, I don't know. I stopped down the street to change into the Santa outfit. I must have dropped it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Kenny that we took our super hound, Hershey the Wonder Dog,
Yep.
out, and I actually walked the route between where he changed and here. Walked the gutters, walked the parking lots, trying to find the OFC chip.
Mm-hmm.
I had Hershey the Wonder Dog sniff the Santa suit, get the scent. He was on it, but we didn't find it. But Kenny somehow circled back and found the OFC chip in the parking lot.
Yep.
It was dude. It was yeah. He's coming in. He's the smartest dog alive. Don't hate on Santa Kenny. I love Santa Kenny. Ryan Bishop, anything crazy coming to the shop soon?
Oh, I know something.
Yes. What? A
The
couple things.
Whiskey Bonded official rare character Rio pick.
So Ryan, this is so for everybody that's in here. We got some very exciting stuff coming down for the shop in the order of the arrival here. So one, the Old Louisville double oaked bourbon just hit. The 8-year, 4-month, 120 proof, huge value in the tracksuit that just hit. I've not announced it to the public or anything or made a big deal about it. I just kind of sneaked out a little bit. It's available now. We let the patrons know, and I haven't done videos or anything on it yet, but you can buy it right now. We also have launching this weekend. I don't know if it'll make it out to the public or not. I do not know, but in partnership with Kitsap Whiskey, we have the oldest barrel. This is important. Follow up because this is pretty wild. It's the oldest barrel, single barrel wheated bourbon ever released from Old Elk.
Oh.
Oldest one ever. It's almost 10 years old. It's 9.5 years old. We did some checking. We talked to the distillery. It absolutely is the oldest single barrel wheated bourbon. It's a cast strength bourbon. It's 120 proof. It's a little over 9.5 years old. The kicker is it's not very expensive. Way under $100.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy value. Okay, I already ordered mine. I cheated. I cheated. It's not available yet.
Up.
It's my store. I can do it. It's dropping. I'm gonna announce this, but it's dropping on Friday evening to the patrons of Whiskey Bonded and Kitsap Whiskey. Okay.
All right.
If it gets through the patrons, it'll go out to the public Saturday around noontime. Now, the yield is not super high, but there's a few bottles. It's 120 proofers, so it's not like there's 250 bottles. It's kind of a standard yield of 120 proof barrel. The people at Old Elk, the team at Old Elk, said that it's quite possibly the best thing they've ever released.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. I don't know how that all worked out through a lot of relationship and a lot of finagling, and I get Colby gets the credit for that. I weeded bourbons are my jam. Cask strength weeded bourbons are my jam, and this is supposed to be that good. I don't expect that bottle's gonna last very long.
Probably not.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Also, Ryan, Bonnet Jr. is on to something. The rare character Rio that we picked in Vegas on election day with the completely custom label, I cannot wait to reveal to you guys because it's absolute shenanigans. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's cool as shit.
It's cool. Well, from the bits I've seen, I don't think I've seen the full thing.
It's something that let's put it this way: it's something that only I would do. Nobody else would do this label. There's no other person on the planet who would go, "Yeah, that's a great idea." Only me, because I'm just not smart.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
It's good and bad. If you appreciate my humor, you'll like it. If you don't, you'll think it's the most ridiculous and stupid thing ever. It's bottled. We are only waiting for ETA's timing. The proof on it is gonna be great. I'll tell you what. I will give you. Let me give you the. I just talked to. I'm gonna pull it up right now. So not doing this on my phone is great because I can pull it up. I just talked to Rare Character today, and I got the proof and such on it, and I thought it was pretty interesting because it has proofed up a bit because of the time that it's taken because they got so back behind. So it actually got up to 118.12, which I think is a really good proof point. It's gone up a little bit.
It's not bad.
It's almost 9 years old. So it's 8 years, 10 months old. So I think it's going to be, one, it's a banger of a bottle. Two, it's got some age. It's got the right proof, and it's got the ridiculous label. We're going to be launching that. I'm going to probably say May. I think we're going to because I'm going to let that one get into the shop, settle, and we're going to launch that first to the patrons, and then to the public. But Garrett, you should not worry about the label.
I think Garrett will enjoy it.
Look, Garrett, your label. No, I threatened to put Garrett in the stupid red, white, and blue cowboy hat outfit.
Yeah.
I threatened to put that. I even did a mock-up, and that almost.
You're telling me that didn't make the final cut?
It was in the final running, but no, no, it did not. I thought that was too inside of a joke. At least the label that I did do, people are gonna get it. They don't have to know me to get it. They're just gonna be like, "Why did this guy do this? I don't make any sense to." But they're gonna get what I was going for. So if I put Garrett dude, Garrett, I'm not saying that you're off the hook. That might not end up as a label at some point or another. It might still. I love that picture. I think it's priceless.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about framing it, putting it on the wall here instead of this really great pinup girl. I'm thinking about putting Garrett.
You
up
could.
Here.
That could.
I thought about it
really well.
So you're not off the hook there, Garrett. So don't get too comfortable. It could happen. We're gonna do another rare character, maybe.
Yeah,
and we should do another rare character just to put Garrett's.
We should just get like every picture of like a Patreon and like a fun outfit, and then that'll be the label.
Oh, Kenny.
Yeah.
Dude, we have some crazy, embarrassing pictures of the patrons.
Santa Kenny, Rick sleeping in a hotel lobby.
Oh my god.
Garrett in that outfit.
Dude, you're a genius.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I'm telling you.
You guys are. That's amazing.
Yep.
If you want to find yourself on the cover of a rare character bottle, you might want to join the Patreon. If you want to join the top level, you're going to get on the cover of a bottle. I know it would be Owen. I don't know. I think we should put Owen, not his chugging, but his Hawk Tua.
Either one.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, we got to get him chugging a rare character and put that on it.
See you, Mike. Thanks for coming by. What's
World of Warcraft? Do you know World of Warcraft?
Whip 'em out Wednesdays.
Okay.
You still watch listen to a radio show that did Whip 'em out Wednesdays.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's just.
I thought WoW would be like your time.
In my time, it was Whip 'em out Wednesdays. It wasn't. Listen, I wasn't talking about Warcraft. I was worried about jugs. I wasn't worried about.
All right.
Yeah.
Go off, King.
The chicken cock. The chicken cock bottle is the last thing that we got coming. Back to the Ryan's point about coming crazy to the bondage bottle shop. The chicken cock is going to be amazing. We're waiting on the custom label on that. I can't wait for that one. We did. If you're not a patron, you did miss the Jack 10 drop.
That did happen. Yeah.
We did drop. How many people are watching right now?
39.
So we did do. Yeah, the number fluctuates. It's not very high. We did do a Jack 10 drop in the Patreon, and it went fucking crazy because I only got a few of them.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun to do a to drop some Jack 10 to the patrons and watch them just go. It wasn't that many, but it was weird to watch them disappear in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I didn't anticipate that. It only made it past the into the second layer of the Patreon.
Damn.
Top layer.
How many
those
were
guys
there?
Got a few. I think we did a total of 16.
Oh, not bad.
16, I think. It was under 20.
Yeah.
It was under 20. I think it was 16. I didn't get one. For the record, I did not buy one for myself.
How noble.
Yeah, well, I like to think it is. I like to think it's noble.
The Jack 10.
Jack 10. I have a Jack 10. In fact, I think I have 2 Jack 10s, but I don't need more than one Jack 10. I think I have a second one somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere that was offered, and anyway, it's not about the number. It's about what you do with it. Is what I've been told. That Whip 'em Out Wednesdays is a whip out, not whip it out. There, guys, whip out. I'll let you figure out what that means. Aaron, me on a label won't sell a single bottle. Well, I don't know. That picture of Garrett's not super flattering, but I think it would sell.
I think if you walk into a store and you see that, you're like,
Dude.
I'd buy that.
Well, especially if we could get, I don't know which rare character. I wish Owen was here because he would know which rare character dips in red or bright blue.
Oh, yeah.
It would have to be red or blue or white because we have to match the red, white, blue outfit. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock. I say we wrap it up.
Okay.
So, what do you guys think? Last thing, make sure you hit the like. Put it in the comments.
I hit the like.
Yeah, you guys please hit the like. Hit the like. Viewership was up a little bit this week. I think we're gonna kind of let this play out and hopefully it'll build. Did you guys like the new format? Do you like the dual camera? We can take Bonded Junior off if you don't like the dual camera. If you don't want to look at the old Bonded Junior. But we have the
I'm the star of the show. What do you mean?
we have to fix the lighting. But we are well on our way of having guests. We may try next week. Are you feeling brave there, IT department?
For having a guest?
Having a Discord
Easy
guest.
peasy.
Okay, so next week, are we doing anything next week? No?
I might got some pickleball going on, but, besides that.
So we're going to, share the link. Garrett brings up a good point. You guys, please, go to the little share logo on the bottom of the video. Depending on what you're watching on. Hit the share. Copy the link. You don't have to share to anybody. And you guys hit the like. Come on, you lazy SOBs. How's there only 5? Hit the little like. It's just a little thumb thing on the bottom. It looks like this. Just go. That's all it takes. Yeah. So you guys, please just hit it one time. It's not like TikTok where you gotta continuously hit it. But just make sure we want to feed the algorithm a little bit so that it'll suggest us to some other people because we want to try and get more people to watch this because we will start live streaming on TikTok again, dual streaming when my IT department gets that figured out. It didn't work again tonight for some reason.
Well, that's on TikTok. That's not my fault. I
I
did the right thing. I don't know what the hell
Might have to
TikTok's.
set up a second camera and just do it on the phone.
Maybe.
Anyway, we'll figure that out at some point. But for now, we're going to stick with this YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Even at the expense of lower viewership.
Well, at least it's a more engaged viewership. I don't know if you want to keep answering what's the best beginner bourbon over and over again, but that's up to you.
That's true. Who's the guest? Elon, RFK, JD Vance. I'd have to go Elon. Because Elon's going to get into some shenanigans and say some stuff he probably shouldn't say. Okay. No. Brandon T's saying there's 38 on his end. Something's not
It's probably just not
copacetic.
updating. It's
Something's
fine.
not copacetic.
Yeah, glad that at least there's no lag or whatever with that, so that's good.
We do have to figure out with this little send one stream, blah, blah,
I
blah.
think I know how to fix that, so.
Nate with the hot take.
Hot take on what? What'd I say?
Nate says lots of crazy stuff. You can't keep track of all of it.
I just keep it real.
Yeah, thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you being here, brother. We're trying to take it to you guys' level. Yeah, thank you again for the bottles 100%. Shout out to Brandon T. I appreciate that a ton, bro. I can't tell you how much I've tried to
Yeah, bottle's a banger.
figure out.
Good.
Yeah, and that is a badass. Go get yourself an Evernorth Night Soccer if you're in one of those areas where you can actually get that bottle. It's not super wide distribution, but there are ways.
Tom just said you should have Brandon as the next guest.
Brandon T, you know what, Brandon? I will reach out to Brandon. Brandon, we should have you as a guest at some point for sure. You can talk about your experience with the Bourbon Junkies and your personal collection and all that good stuff. So, you guys, thank you very much for showing up and for putting up with our hitches and all this stuff. For the camera changes and all that other stuff. We're gonna be back here next Wednesday, 6:30. I will shout out to some of you patrons in the Discord to see who wants to join me on the live. But if you're joining on the live, be prepared to talk about your favorite bourbons, your whiskey collection, and your favorite stories. We're going to lean on you to try and fill in some of the space and talk about some of your experience. So, you guys, thanks, Henry. Thanks for everybody that showed up. Thanks for hitting that like. And we'll see you guys next week. Patrons, over the Discord after party. Got to rest the voice, walk the dog. You guys know the gimmick. And we'll see you over there in a little bit.
Catch you later.